This is One on One.
For me he'll do and dare as ne'er before. Our hopes and fears will share forevermore. And so all else above I'm waiting for the man I love.
How awesome is that? An American in Paris at the Palace Theater, the two stars, Leanne and Robert Fairchild, playing at the Palace Theater. 12 Tony nominations, 4 Tonys. Your Broadway debut, are you kidding me?
It's a pinch me moment for sure.
Yeah.
Describe for those who don't know, from the original film, 1951, Gene Kelly plays this American soldier in Paris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Meets this ballerina. Tell the story.
That version or our version?
Your version.
Our version, it's an American in Paris through and through. It's undeniably a tribute to the movie.
Right.
But we've set it 5 years earlier, right after the Nazis have left Paris. Paris has been liberated, but it's taking a second for the people to find their footing again. And I'm a GI who stays on the bill and pursues art, and a girl he sees on the first day and just keeps having these chance meetings, and it feels like fate. And so he pursues her while she's got her obligations. And
I'm pretty lucky. I have 3 leading men that all fall in love with me.
Nice.
I know. Who gets that? I mean, I'm really lucky. You're lucky if you get 1, but I get 3.
By the way, where did you, that New Jersey accent you have, seriously, where are you from?
I'm from Bath, which is a town, actually it's a city, it's a very small city, about 2 hours southwest of London. Yeah, so that's where I was born, and I ended up here playing a French lady, though, so it's all very confusing.
It's all very confusing. You're from, Robbie?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep.
Was Gene Kelly actually an idol of yours?
Absolutely. So my sister took dance class, and she would come home, and we would put on little concerts for my parents. But I didn't know how to dance, so I was just following her and then just improvising in the background. So she's the reason why I got into the dance studio. But the reason why I wanted to do this as a career, as a
right.
you know, was Gene Kelly. Seeing him and Singing in the Rain when I was younger was life-changing.
And you performed, you studied right down the street at?
Right above us.
Or actually right above?
Yeah, School of American Ballet.
Wait a minute. How did you get there? Because that's incredibly competitive, right?
Yes, it is competitive. My sister did the same thing. She went to the School of American Ballet. She saw my competition videos. I did tap and jazz. That's what I love to do.
Right.
And so she said, why don't you go to a summer course? You'll just get a better technique, because ballet's a basis for all dance. So I went and I fell in love with it, and somehow ended up in New York City Ballet, and was there for 10 years until, and that's how I met Christopher Wheeldon, the director and choreographer of An American in Paris, because he was originally a dancer with New York City Ballet turned choreographer. So we have a lineage, and it's very similar to yours, too.
And your story?
I studied all styles of dance when I was little. I did tap and ballet, but I decided to pursue mainly just ballet, and I went to the Royal Ballet School, which is a boarding school. I went there when I was 11.
Wow.
And studied there until I was 18, and then got into the Royal Ballet Company.
And you're, hold
Yeah,
on, that is at what
me.
point?
That's when I was about 11 years old. It's actually now next to Lauren Cuthbertson, who's now a principal ballerina with the Royal Ballet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Royal Ballet. Did you know at that point that Broadway was your destiny?
I always loved musicals, kind of equal to ballet, but it was never even in my universe that I thought it would be part of something that I would. Because it's so special and so spectacular, and I hadn't trained as an actor or a singer. I was a ballet dancer, and I just didn't think I'd ever have that opportunity. I thought maybe once I retired from dancing, that maybe it's something that I'd like to do as I got older as a hobby, an amateur dramatic society or something.
When did it change?
It changed the moment that Christopher Wheeldon spoke to me and said, would I like to give it a go?
He saw something?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
What did he see?
Well, I think that, you know, if he was going to do a Broadway show, he wanted his level of dancing. He works with the best companies, ballet companies in the world. And if he was going to put his name in Broadway, he wanted the dancing to reflect what he's been working on. He wanted to bring ballet to Broadway. And I think you can only do that by plucking from ballet companies. And so I think he scoped out the companies to find the people who had the most potential to be all three, acting, singing, dancing, because I think if you looked in the musical theater world, you'd find actors, singers, but the dancing would be the most, you know, challenging.
I think it was probably easier for them to train a ballet dancer to sing and act than to train an actor or singer to do ballet.
Especially point shoes.
Especially
Much
point
harder.
shoes.
Now, your sister also...
Yeah, she's in the
is
New
on
York City
Broadway.
Ballet with me as well, and she, in the same year that I'm doing an American in Paris, did Ivy Smith, Miss Turnstiles On the Town.
So your family has having an off year. That is amazing.
It's really cool. It's really
Let me ask you, you know, for those of us who love theater, you know, and just try to imagine what it might be like to get ready every day and then a couple, you know, twice a week, 2 shows.
Yes.
How challenging? Even though you love it.
Oh, I love it. But for me, I've learnt since I've moved here just to do this one show. In the ballet, you will rehearse probably 3 or 4 different ballets in the day and then perform a different ballet in the evening. Whereas with this show, it's just this show. You give 100% to this show. And I gear my whole day towards the performance.
How physically demanding?
The show is very physically demanding. And mentally. I find it mentally demanding as well to put yourself, the journey that both our characters take, it's a real emotional journey and you put yourself through that every night. So that's quite draining. But it's good for us, we have a happy ending. I can't imagine not having a happy ending. That must be awful to leave the theatre and not have a happy ending.
The happy ending makes a big difference.
So yeah, to go through that emotion sometimes twice a day is, sometimes I think, harder than the actual physical endurance of it.
Just to do this 8 shows a week, you have to maintain. You have to do all you can to keep your body in the best physical shape and give it the best chance you can.
Get through the 8 shows.
And keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh, but that's
Describe
one
that.
thing that's really interesting, you know, from the ballet world. Nutcracker seems like, oh my God, we have to do another show of Nutcracker, and we only have like 50 shows. And I'm a guy in the Nutcracker. I don't have to dance nearly as much as the girls. And so having the 8 shows is...
I think we're on show number 80-something now.
something like that.
And that's not including previews. So we're over 100 shows here in New York. But for me, I still think it feels fresh every night.
It feels fresh.
The audience is always different.
Yes.
That's the
Do
variable.
you remind yourself of that?
You don't have to be reminded, because when you deliver a line that usually gets a laugh, they are different, and they show their appreciation differently every show, whether they think it's funny, whether they don't think it's funny. And so it really keeps you on your toes, not to get them to laugh or do anything, but it's an interesting thing, because you're like, well, did they not understand it, or am I not doing it right?
Are you thinking that? Sorry for interrupting, Robbie. Do you think that through as it's happening when you're not? If you don't get the reaction you want?
Yeah, because it's all timing. It's like when you say something, I usually have to give the audience a chance to react before I come in.
And if they don't?
So if I'm listening and they don't do anything, I have to fill in. And so you notice the timing changing, and that's what keeps it fresh for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's easier to keep fresh the acting scenes than the dancing scenes because of that.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Did you preview the show in Paris?
Yes.
Talk about the audience reaction there.
It was slightly different because they were reading subtitles. So they would have, say, a 2-second delay to the jokes or something. But they're a wonderful audience and...
Positive reaction.
Oh, my
Very
God.
positive. And, you know, it was kind of, I guess, a bit of a risk taking a show about Paris to
that's what I'm
Paris.
thinking.
A bunch of Americans and a Brit telling the story.
Yeah, trying to, like, bring their city to life. But they were really lovely to us. And every night we got a standing ovation, and we'd do
curtain
four
calls.
curtain calls.
Curtain
and they
calls.
said to us, when you get to New York, don't expect this. But actually, we've
Because
had...
you can see people start to leave once the bows start.
Well, listen, if you don't mind, I'm going to plug again. The play is An American in Paris at the Palace Theater between 46th and 47th Street, right in the heart of New York City on Broadway. Leanne Cope and Robbie Fairchild, we wish you nothing but great success.
Thank you.
And your Broadway debut ain't bad.
No, we're having a good time.
I will tell you, one of the great things about doing this show right out of the Tisch WNET studio is you get to have folks who are wonderful performers and artists who come to the studio from not too far away, and we get to see another side of you, and we wish you nothing but the best, and I know folks are going to go out and see you. Congratulations.
Thank you
What do you
very
do for an
much.
encore?
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One on One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by PNC Bank, Bergen Community College, United Water, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, and by Choose New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.